How is everyone just ignoring the issue of Joe Biden's mental fitness? After watching just a few gaffes from the past week or so, it's pretty apparent that this should be a serious issue for him. It's honestly a little frightening how this is being ignored. Edit. Holy crap, this blew up. Thanks for the silvers. P.S. If any of you know anything about houseplants, check my post history. I can't figure out why my canna lilies are dying. Oh, and don't forget if you don't support our guy, then you must be a Trump supporter crowd. They would rather lose to Trump than risk Bernie winning the general. Just a warning, you're going to be getting the Bernie is senile argument from Republicans too. They'll take any mistake he makes and twist it to fit their narrative, so don't expect that either Russia or the Republicans will sit it out. If you're going to claim that Biden is senile, you're going to be hearing that Sanders is senile too. Go to 1 hour 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Bernie literally says in 1941, "We were at war with China and Hitler." Doesn't correct himself. At 1 minute in, Bernie calls Robert Reich. Robert Reuben Bernie said he graduated high school with a ton of black students. He graduated with 3 black students. That's a clear memory lapse. Bernie said 10,000 Palestinian civilians were killed in 2014 when it was 1,000. Later said he got his facts mixed up. In a debate, instead of saying those countries opposed to ISIS, he embarrassingly said those countries opposed to Islam. Bernie says Bush is the president instead of Trump in a debate and doesn't correct himself. He did the same thing twice in a hearing and only corrected himself after laughter, saying it the second time got into the wrong plane. Even pro-Bernie TMZ called it a brain fart. Proclaimed that we will pass gay marriage in all 50 states nearly 11 months after the SCOTUS ruling. Makes no sense under any context. In live interview, Bernie Sanders called Wolf Blitzer Jake 3 times before Wolf corrected him. Then he still called him Jake 2 more times, urged voters to support him in the Iowa caucus instead of the Nevada caucus when he was doing a rally in Vegas. Confuses the Iowa caucus with the Nevada caucus again. Link. Bernie asked who's the biggest threat between Russia, Iran, and North Korea. Answers ISIS multiple times until asked a 4th time by Chuck Todd. Link said he was in Sioux City in Iowa instead of Sioux Falls in North Dakota on a question regarding infrastructure. Bernie said we need to rebuild the United Nations. Said there are 500 superdelegates. No, there are 771. Incorrectly called the Human Rights Campaign the Human Rights Fund. Even Jeff Weaver said Bernie misspoke and conflated a few facts regarding Russia in a couple of interviews. Link wrongly referred to a staffer as a volunteer. Said he ridden the subway multiple times the past year but claimed that he used tokens to ride it when tokens haven't been used for decades. That's a clear memory lapse. Bernie ran into a shower door. It can happen to anyone, but that's especially common for senior citizens with cognition issues. So the question is Bernie senile? I mean, I don't think so. Sure, he's made some gaffes in his time, but nothing suggesting dementia. Same is true with Biden. You can pull up a dozen examples of gaffes, string them all together and make it look like he's going mad, but that doesn't mean he is going mad. Edit. All props should go to you EasyMoney92 for coming up with the list. I don't know if I can ping him or if that'll get the post blocked, but he should get all the credit, not me. I was just wondering that earlier today. Only thing I can think of is that the Democrats are so desperate for a Democratic president that they will vote for someone who said a week or 2 ago, I am Joe Biden and I am running for United States Senator. And he did not even catch it. Couldn't recite one line from Declaration of Independence. And said to a group of African American and Latino kids that they could be as good as white kids, too. Not exact wording. Those are the few I remember. Definitely don't want him in charge. Poor kids are just as smart as white kids. Joe Biden, 2020 candidate for the U.S. Senate. Man, this election cycle feels like a battle of your grandpas. You have your aging tanky grandpa. You doesn't understand why you can't be racist anymore grandpa. And you doesn't understand what the fuck is going on because the dementia is knocking grandpa. I guess may the best grandpa win. Bernie is America's grandpa at least. He actually cares about the youth. The other two. Not so much. Yeah, but he's going to be 87 if he gets elected through 2 terms. At that age your chief concern should be going through the day with clean underwear, not butting heads with world leaders. I'm just really concerned that all our options for leadership are people who, to put it coldly, have a very real possibility of dying or going senile in office. I don't agree with Trump, but even he seems to be getting more confused and tripping up on his words. When Reagan was elected, people were concerned about him being 69, and since then all presidents have been less than 65, with Clinton and Obama being in their 40s. Now all of a sudden it's jumped to all candidates being in their mid to late 70s. This to me is really concerning and in my opinion will mean America is not going to have the best leadership it can.